All right, guys. I was so excited to be invited to be part of this. I'm from the West Coast, Washington State. Spent a little time here in Virginia, but this is not what I thought I was going to do with my life. I actually have the privilege to speak in almost 200 high schools a year in 4 countries. However, it wasn't what my big plan was when I graduated from high school. My big plan actually involved science. I wanted to be a marine biologist. I wanted to go out and save the beluga whales of the planet, because my favorite song when I was a little girl was a song called Baby Beluga by Raffi. I am not now, nor will I ever be, a marine biologist, because I'd rather so much spend my time in schools like the ones you've come from. So I'm going to start this presentation tonight the same way I always do, because I'm just honestly not a very creative person and I can't think of anything better to do. So I'm going to ask you at this time to please quietly close your eyes. I did say that. You're all like peeking at your friends going, did she really ask us to close our eyes? Yes, she did. Close your eyes. With your eyes closed, I'd like for you to imagine the most important person in your life. I'm not asking you to think about someone you've never fought with or told you hate. I'm asking you to think about the person that means most to you. Could be a best friend you've known since kindergarten, could be a brother, sister, boyfriend, girlfriend, could be a parent. With your eyes closed, imagine what your life would be without them. You come home from school and your mom's not there to make you dinner or give you some big lecture about not taking the garbage out. The reason she's not there, she made a choice. That choice cost her life. You will grow up without a mom. With your eyes closed, imagine what it'd be like to go to school Monday morning and your best friend doesn't sit beside you in class anymore, or in the odd occasion you may have been able to copy off his test. The reason he's not there is he too made a choice. And because of that choice, that desk will remain empty. With your eyes closed, while you think about the people that you care about most, please listen to this.
I love you so much. Marin, I'm right here. You're gonna be fine. The ambulance is here. Don't worry. They'll get you out and I'll take you home. I'm not leaving you.
Come on.
No, Marin.
Please.
Her
Let's
name is
listen to
Cara.
this.
She's my sister. She wants to be a teacher.
No, you can't go back in there.
Tell her she's gonna be fine. Is she breathing? Is she okay?
For those of you who aren't peeking yet, you can open your eyes. Guys, there's a reason I had you close your eyes. I just wanted you to hear what was being said. The traffic safety commercial from Canada where I grew up, the very end of the commercial, if we actually showed it to you tonight, it would say, in memory of Marin Johnston, another victim of excessive speed. Every word you just heard that actress say is word for word what I said. Marin was my sister. I watched my sister, my best friend, die in a car. What that commercial won't tell you, Marin was my big sister. My older sister, she was all of 39 seconds older than me. We were identical twins. I watched my identical twin sister die in a car crash because of a choice. And I hear the word all the time, your sister died in an accident. Her boyfriend at the time, they'd been dating about a week, was driving 110 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour speed zone when he lost control of his car. And I didn't start speaking years ago, because I wanted people to know my story. I wish I didn't have a story. The reason I started speaking, and I still speak today, is I'm sick and tired of people calling it an accident. When a plane crashes and tragically people die, we don't call it a plane accident. If you actually look up the word accident in the dictionary, it says something unpreventable, like stubbing your toe on a coffee table, tripping up a flight of stairs, falling off a stage, which unfortunately I have done more than once in front of large groups of people. That's an accident. My sister didn't die in an accident. She died because she made a bad choice. We were supposed to start university together 5 days after she died. She died the day after our 18th birthday. And every year since then, I celebrate, first of all, our birthday without her. The next day is the day she died. I didn't go to school without her. It was too hard for me. Let's be honest. Getting out of bed was hard for me. After Marin's boyfriend was finally sentenced, he did walk away from the car. I finally got up enough courage to go back to school. And by then, I was already doing 100 little presentations on my own time. I bawled my eyes out through all of them like that hysterical girl cry. Makes no sense to anybody. But I went back to school, and I took 3 classes my first semester of university. And I had a part-time job, and I was speaking already, and I thought, you know what, I can do this. I can do this, even though she's not here. Literally, all I'd known my entire life was being part of something. As an identical twin, the younger twin of an identical twin, you always think your life will always be about each other. I literally, you guys, thought that I would grow up and be old with my twin sister. and walk around Vancouver, Canada, where we grew up, wearing matching outfits and have 100 cats at home. That was our plan. That plan didn't work out because of a choice. Now, that first semester of school for me was not how I had planned it. It was a year and a half after Marin died. I got enough courage to go back to school, and to say that I was overwhelmed is an understatement. I'd been a good high school student. I was a terrible university student. I had a university professor, though, in my biology class that literally said something to me that changed my life forever. He knew what I was doing on my own time, trying to save the planet because I couldn't save my sister. He handed me back a test on a Monday morning with an F on it, my first F ever, and he stared me straight in the face. And he said, "Cara, stop fighting fights. You can't win." I was so upset by his comment. I played sports in Canada at a national level. I like to win. What I realized, it isn't about the fights in life that you can win. Although winning feels really good, it's often more importantly in life, you find a fight worth fighting for. Now, I don't know what that fight's gonna be for you in your lifetime, but I'm standing here about as far away from Washington State as you can get before you start swimming in another ocean, because I found mine. All of your lives, to me, are a fight worth fighting for. Because while you heard all the amazing speakers tonight, it's been such a pleasure to get to know all of them. 270 people just died in car crashes worldwide. While we stood here. People that you either met and will never see again or will never have the opportunity to meet. How do you think that changes the world? We're never gonna know. They aren't here to change it. Do you know in almost 200 high schools a year, you guys, I've never been to a school that doesn't know what this feels like? I've never found a school in all that time, or a conference, where there weren't people already sitting in the auditorium that didn't already know what it felt like to lose somebody they cared about. I've been to schools where they've lost 8 students in 12 months in separate car crashes. There's no big enough Band-Aid on the planet to make that feel better. I spoke in a school in April of last year, not far from here, not long ago, who buried 4 girls in a car in the last 12 months. They were all in the same vehicle. 5 girls have been in the car. They're surviving. Only survivor will never be the same again. She will be cared for the rest of her life. I stood in front of an auditorium full of students, 1,100 people, and that presentation that day should have been proudly sponsored by Kleenex. Everybody bawled. And as the speaker, all I wanted to do at the end of the day was make it feel better, and I couldn't. I had a senior boy walk up to me at the end of the presentation. He waited till everybody had left the auditorium. 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, he waited for me. And he walks up to me, "Hi, my name is Josh." "Hey, Josh, I'm Cara, nice to meet you." Josh is wearing a Letterman jacket, guessing for football, he's a big dude. And he stood in front of me, you guys, and he burst into tears. Ladies, I don't know about you, I see a guy cry, I lose it. And all I wanted to do was make it better. Josh was Anna's boyfriend. Anna died in the car. They've been dating since freshman year of high school. She should have been a senior with him, she wasn't there. Josh stood in front of me, you guys, and he shook as he told me about his girlfriend and the other girls that died in the car. And he was fidgeting with a bracelet on his wrist, a rubber bracelet. He said in loving memory, it was the colors of their school, the date of the crash, and the names of all 4 girls that died. Josh got it at Anna's funeral. He'd been wearing it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week since she passed away. And he took it off his wrist and he handed it to me. He wanted me to have it. Because something I said that day made him hurt a little less. Josh has a lot of guilt, guys. And that's the reason for my story tonight. Josh had been at the same party the girls had been at. So had 40 of their friends. Everybody at that party knew those girls shouldn't have driven home, and nobody stopped them. They all believed it was going to happen to somebody else. You know what? Josh was right, and it was wrong. This presentation today, you guys, is not complicated. It's not rocket science. This presentation today is not about you taking the fun out of the equation either. It's about having a good time safely. All I'm asking you to do is stick your neck out for your friends. I wish I'd stuck my neck out a little further. I've never been to a school where it hasn't affected them in some way. And there's somebody right now sitting in this room that already knows what it feels like to lose somebody they cared about. And all I have to say is how sorry I am. It doesn't change anything. But you know what I believe? I believe you will change that. I believe this room is full of people that are willing to stick their neck out for something they believe in and find a fight worth fighting for. I believe that with all my heart. But the people whose lives you will save in the Hampton Roads and Norfolk area and all that stuff, they will never know to thank you. They don't know they're alive today because you made the right choice or encouraged a friend to make the right choice. Have a buddy sleep over your house when you know he shouldn't be driving. Ask mom or dad to slow down. Remind a friend to wear their seatbelt. All those baby choices matter. But the people whose lives you'll save will never know to thank you. So tonight I thank you, first of all, on behalf of the people whose lives you've already saved, because you choose to be involved. You know what? It's not easy. Sometimes it's not popular, but it's the right thing to do. I thank you on behalf of the people's lives you will save, because you choose to stick your neck out. I thank you on behalf of my sister, who isn't here to thank you herself. And from the bottom of my heart, for allowing me to share that message with you. I've been speaking a long time. In fact, this week, it's 16 years since I picked up my first microphone. And it's definitely not how I thought my life was going to turn out. But my life changed like a course, like a comet. 16 years ago. She should be here, and she's not. And I don't want anybody else in this room. I already know there's people in this room right now sitting here that knows what this feels like. And I don't want anybody else to know what that feels like. And you may be wondering why they invited me to be part of this event when I have nothing to do with the amazing things above our head and an amazing organization like NASA. They want you to get old. They want you one day to be able to tell your kids how hard you had it, how you had to walk to school barefoot in the snow 5 miles up a hill both ways, like I'm sure you've heard from some of your parents. My sister's not going to have any kids. I'm grateful for the experience my life has taken. And I have a son, his name is Jackson. He's 5. He's the world's cutest 5-year-old. And I know I'm probably slightly biased. I'm his mom. Of course, he's gorgeous. He could look like a troll. I would not know the difference. He's also the world's largest 5-year-old. And I say that and people laugh. Like, I'm a fairly tall girl. I'm 6 feet tall without the heels on. My husband's 6'5". As tall as we are, I'm not expecting gigantor at the end of the day for a kid, but we have him. He's well over 4 feet tall and 5 years old. He's allowed to ride every ride at Disney World by himself. He's 5. But you know, I look at my beautiful, gorgeous, ginormous son every day, and I hope that he'll grow up in a world where he doesn't bury his friends. And looking out into the audience tonight, you give me hope. You give me hope that you are the generation that's going to stick your neck out further than the previous generation did and not allow this to happen all the time. It's choices, guys. 2 things stop car crashes from happening every day. 2 things, that's it. Each driver's common sense and a white or yellow line, depending on what country you come from, this big. When people decide to speed or drink and drive, smoke whatever it is they've decided to smoke and drive anyway, text message while they're driving, we throw common sense out the window. And the only thing we bet our lives on at the end of the day, whether you're driving it or not, is a white or yellow line this big and your choices. It's been my privilege to spend time with you tonight. I hope that maybe this was an eye-opener for some of you. I want you to get old too. Thank you so much for your time.